Ooh, that really hurt. Within aviation, we have a saying, takeoffs are optional, but landings are mandatory. And if you can't get it right and land it right, you're gonna end up just like this guy. Yeah, that was me, and yes, that really hurt. While this video might give you some helpful tips on how to land better, it was never meant to replace true training. So, don't be silly and learn on YouTube. Make sure that you go and get the proper training. Let's dive in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking all about landing. As a brand new paramotor pilot, landings are one of the most intimidating things that we face. Yet today we're going to talk about a few easy steps that can try to help us eliminate some of that fear and help us to have a lot better landing. So the first step that we want to do is, as we're coming in, you want to make sure that, for one, you want to make your landing safe. You want to make sure that your landing zone is free and clear. Watch out for obstacles that might possibly be in the way. Maybe it's trees, all of those things. You want to make sure that you have a clear path to get to your landing zone. After you want to do that, you want to get out of your seat. Yeah, I said that right, out of your seat. Make sure that you get out of your seat, and you want to put your full weight on the front of your harness. Make sure that it's there. And then the very next step is to fill that motor. Now, there's a lot of reasons that we pull our motor, but the first and most important one is if you hit the ground, it's less damage to the unit. Probably not going to break the prop. There's tension on the prop, so it's more likely that it's going to break. It also gives you a little bit of ability to focus more on what it is that you're doing. The next thing is we're going to start coming in for approach. So now you're out of your seat, your engine's off, you made sure that you're going to make the landing. Now it's time to begin your descent. Hands all the way up. A lot of times as a new pilot, and I was very guilty of this as I first started, I like to fly right here, and as I was coming in, you want to slow yourself down, so you pull it down to your ears. And what you're doing there is you're losing the ability to have more space to flare at the end. You want to keep your hands as high as you possibly can until you get down. Now, another thing that we fail to do, or that we actually do too often, is we stare right at the ground. The ground comes at you really, really quickly, which makes you sort of start to panic. So you don't want to look directly at the ground. Make sure that you find a spot and that you look in front of you, preferably exactly where you want to land. If you focus on your landing spot, more than likely that's where you're going to land. So hands up, you're coming in. You want to get about, I would say, 15 feet off the ground, and then you slowly begin your flare. Pull it, pull it, pull it. You'll feel the pressure. Once you start to do it a few times, you will feel the pressure. And then you allow yourself to come in. You'll get above the ground level, and then you will start to slide in. And that's whenever after you've bled off a lot of that speed, you'll give it full flare. It'll hopefully pick you up. Sometimes what'll happen is you'll get a little balloon. That's okay. It's all right. You're new at this. You're just getting started. Hold the balloon. Hold it until you slowly set down. Don't come back up. You want to just hold that balloon, and then right before you touch ground, put your hands as close down to the side of your hips as possible. You want to go full flare, and that'll help you come in for a good landing. Let's go and check that out and see what it looks like in real life.
All right, so we're up and away, just kind of cruising here. Gonna head on back. Another thing that's so important to do is make sure that you're always checking your landing zone. Looks like a car just pulled into the area, so it's gonna make things a little bit more challenging. It looks like our wind has actually shifted a little bit as well. So whenever you're looking for landing, when you're preparing for your landing, it's okay to circle your landing zone. Make sure that you get the wind right. You want to make sure that you get the wind right. Sometimes as you're up here, you think the wind's coming from one direction, but the wind can actually shift. Like it looks like it actually has done for us. It's shifted a bit, which is okay. It actually gives us more space when we look at our LZ. A little more space to land. If you don't have a flag and it's like an emergency situation, you can look for ripples on the water. You can look for what other trees are doing, especially if there's leaves around. You can look for the leaves the leaves moving around. And yeah, my wind has actually completely shifted the takeoff, which is okay. Actually might give us a little bit better of a setup here. Another thing that you want to do when you come into land is you want to check these trimmers. You want to make sure that they're all trimmed the same. You want to make sure that they're both set to the same position, so when you come in, you can come in nice and straight. Okay, hands all the way up. You don't want to lose any of that. Once you know that you're going to make your area. And kill your engine. And pressure, hold, full, and run it off.